logs off late from a long day's call, solving problems, juggling it all. When the day is done and the sun goes down, she trades the job for the open ground. There's hay to haul and stalls to clean, a muddy path where her soul feels seen. It's not just chores, it's something more. It's the dream she's always been working for. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's proven what a dream is worth. You don't need fame, you don't need praise, just a will to give and a heart that stays. She's got spreadsheets open by morning light, with horses waiting come early night. She's not chasing gold or spotlight gleam, she's just living out her kind of dream. Long days, sore hands, and early starts, but the work she does with heart. 'Cause when you earn it with your time and sweat, you never live with one regret. So don't you wait for the perfect day. Find your fire and lead the way. You can thrive in both your worlds, wearing strength like a strand of pearls. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's showing what her life is worth. Follow your heart and don't let go. You've got more fire than you know. Work hard, stay true, and see it through. Your double life might be the real you.
Well, hey, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Timeout Tuesday. Is it our second last one of the year? Do we have a few more? Is there 3 more Tuesdays in this month? Gosh, I hope so. This year has gone by so fast, and I know that I'm talking about it like it's almost over, but it is almost over, and time is just slipping away, and it's freaking me out like crazy. But happy we're here tonight in a true Timeout Tuesday fashion. I got my boot up, and oh no, did it die? It's almost dead. I have my little white Christmas tree with the little star cutouts. You can see like one little glistening piece right back in there. It's set for the mood, okay? That's just what we're going to say. It's a little dimmer than I thought it was. It looks better up close, okay? Anyway, we're going to have us a cocktail tonight, and we're going to catch up on life. I have been really digging these little sippy Bailey like liqueur drinks. So I'm going back with my vanilla mint shake because it's kind of a favorite this year. Except for I am going to put a straw in it this time, because I find whenever I slosh this on my face that the ice hits me, and then I'm embarrassed because it's like it shocks me a little bit, okay? So a few years ago, I ordered drink cups that came with extra straws, and this time I'm going to cut my straw in half. We're going to set it here in my beverage. Look at that. Look how fancy we are and festive. Cheers, y'all, to Timeout Tuesday. Jan says she's sticking with Fireball. I've only drank Fireball once in my life, and I'll just say I love cinnamon, love it, but I'm not really a shot kind of girl. Even though I'm sitting here and literally sipping liquor, I'm not like a sling it back and let it burn my flesh all the way down my throat, especially now in life. Earlier in life, I was up for a challenge or two. One of my most I bartended at the Legion Hall, and then I ran it for, like, events for weddings and quinceañeras and anniversary parties and things like that. So Saturday nights were, like, super big nights, and, in this tiny little town of, a couple thousand people, that little Legion Hall would be 600 to 1,000 people every Saturday night. It was a booming business for parties because when people got married, they invited half the county and half of it from outside, and it was basically a family reunion every single Saturday night. When you're bartending like that, though, like, you're also entertaining people. It's not just like, here's this. Like, you're doing things, and it turns out that people would, like, buy you drinks or challenge you to shots and things like that, or want you to make up something special, or like, give me a blah blah blah. So I actually bought a bartending book one time to figure out some shots that were, like, simple yet catchy in the name, because that's really what people want to do. They want to, like, it's not just not there. It was not just like, give me a shot of tequila. They wanted, like, things that tasted good or that had funny names to them. So there was a shot that was called the Beam Me Up Scotty. It had 3 layers in it. It had Bailey's, banana liqueur, and Kahlua. And let me tell you, it was pretty good. It was layered. It looked like a Neapolitan ice cream type of thing. Okay. Fireball didn't exist back then. Of course, people did Rumplemints. I love the smell of Rumplemints, but Rumplemints leads to bad decisions. Okay. Then there was one that, like, if there was a guy at the wedding who was going to buy drinks for everybody and wanted a round of shots, this was like, I'm embarrassed a little bit to say it. I found it in a book. It was peach schnapps and vodka, I believe. I believe that's what it was, both clear. It was called Silk Panties. And every time that you would be like, how do you feel about that? He's like, yes, 10 of those. I could sell those things like crazy just because of the name. So as I think about my little beverage right here, and okay, hold on a second. I got to read the comments. Of course, I know about a fuzzy navel. That's my grandma's favorite drink. A Jolly Rancher. Never had a Jolly Rancher. I mean, like, I had Jolly Rancher, like, the Jolly Rancher candy, the kind you dropped in Zima back in the day when you're out in the middle of a field and you're, drinking and not going home because you told your mom you stayed at a friend's house, and you're, basically, like, surviving on that Zima and whatever gummy worms that you bought earlier that night. Okay. So I see Sex on the Beach. That's a drink. Dr. Pepper Slammers. Never heard of that. Never heard of that. Debbie says duck farts. That's a drink. Scooby-Doo shots. Hot damn. I do. Okay. That was the original cinnamon flavored beverage, was hot damn or Goldschlager. Now Goldschlager was on the expensive side. We were pretty thrifty when it came to drinking. Let's see here. Ooh, Heidi ate the worm. No, thank you. Jack and Ski. Somebody is from my area to know about Jack and Ski. Let's see here. Chocolate wine. Never had chocolate wine. I can't. Anne says I can't say my drink name in here. Well, dang. Wait. 212 Greg is drinking Bailey's Tiramisu. Oh, that sounds terrific. I haven't been to a liquor store in a really long time. I stopped at Walmart when I was in Illinois last, and that's what I drank last week, was that salted caramel deliciousness. But Bailey's Tiramisu sounds, I might have to try that. Did I ever make a jelly bean? No. Don't know what that is. Now y'all are going to make me like, you're going to make me try new drinks every week that are these things. Anne says, what's Fireball? Fireball is it's whiskey, right? It's a cinnamon flavored whiskey. I think that's what it is. Fireball doesn't have alcohol in it? Wait a minute. Fireball is alcohol, right? I have so many questions right now. A nutty banana. Anyone ever have 6 and 20? No. Okay, Nisha's the one that does the duck farts. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that one up. An Alabama Slammer had that. There was a guy that would like show up at our Legion Hall all the time. I guess he probably worked in the area, and he was originally from Alabama, and he would talk about all of the Alabama things. That's the reason I know about that one. Debbie says, back in the day, it was a triple paralyzer. Isn't it crazy the things that we did to our bodies? Do you know that right now, if I did any of those things that I did back in the day, that I would be dead for a week, a whole week. If I stay up late for whatever reason past midnight, I'm toast. I still wake up at my normal time. And I feel hungover, even though I have a sipping cocktail with y'all on Timeout Tuesdays, and I never finish it. That is like my extent of alcohol at this point in time in my life. First of all, it makes me hot. And in perimenopause or menopause or whatever the heck hormonal hell that I'm going through, like I don't like to be hot. And then on the other extreme of that, I'm freezing sometimes. I don't know. Buttery nipples. Do like those. Definitely have made those. Fireball apple with Dr. Pepper. Never would have thought that. Fireball is whiskey. That's what I thought it was. And they sell Fireball like everywhere. Every gas station, even the little grocery stores here have it as well. Lemon drop shot of vodka. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this was my other trick shot. You just made me think of this. We would slice up lemons, like legitimate lemons, and we would have sugar packets because we're a Legion Hall, and we also served cream, sugar, coffee, the whole bit. So Frangelica is a hazelnut liqueur. What was in that? Frangelica and citron vodka. So Frangelica and lemon vodka, half and half together. Hear me out. You take a slice of lemon and you dip it in sugar. You take that and you put it in your mouth and you suck on the lemon first. Then you take that shot of Frangelica and lemonade vodka, and it tastes like chocolate cake, and it's completely mind-blowing. It is delicious, practically a dessert. That was my other super fancy thing to do at weddings, and it won a lot of hearts. Like a lot of hearts. I haven't had one of those in so long. I wonder if you could make a drink that tasted like that. I don't know how we got to talking about alcohol, but we did. Anyway, crazy times. I see some people saying feel sorry for everybody that has a drinking issue and doesn't drink or anything like that. I'm mostly reminiscing and talking about prior times in life. And I'm not trying to trigger anyone. I'm just talking about things we did or didn't do and things we've tried, things from a past. I'm not encouraging that you should go out and drink or get drunk or do all those things. I'm just talking about history. And I'm sorry if I triggered you in a way that isn't comforting to you. We're just talking about life, and this is what came up this time. I don't really drink very much anymore, so it's not it just was a discussion. Anyway, okay, I have to make one more comment about Jell-O shots. I can't stand Jell-O. I can't stand the texture of Jell-O. And then when they started to instead of putting it in the little cups that you basically slice the under part of your tongue on, they would put it in syringes to squirt it in your mouth, and it would be even worse of a texture. That can't. No, I don't know. Can't do it. Anyway, welcome to Timeout Tuesday, where the most random things fall out of my mouth, and I never show up with a real plan, other than to sit down and hang out with y'all, chat. I sincerely feel like I'm sitting across a counter from you and just here to unwind and hang out and talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. Anyway, it is 9 days before Christmas, and every single person that I interact with in person, or even virtually through work is are you their opener is are y'all all ready for Christmas? And I haven't heard any woman say, "Yep," yet. Men in conversation have not asked that question of each other or of any woman. And I don't know if they're just that smart to not ask that in front of other women, because if I'm being really honest, I don't know a man that puts in the same amount of work as a woman does into Christmas. And I don't mean to be like gender biased or anything like that, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that most of us women are the ones who do the decorating, the baking, the planning, the shopping, the wrapping, the cleaning, the organization of it, and the mental space all around it. And this year is the first year that I'm really struggling to like put my head into it. I don't know what's wrong with me. But every time that someone says, "You ready for Christmas?" and I say no, it like adds to it, right? It adds to the fact that no, I'm not anywhere near. And I also know that I'm not putting in the same efforts because I'm going up north to Illinois to be with my family to celebrate Kinley's first Christmas. And maybe that's my thing. Maybe it's like adding to it, but I feel guilty that no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready in either place. I can't I'm not putting in the same efforts here as I normally would because I know that I won't be here and that like the event is not happening here. So I'm a little bit on the struggle bus. I'm trying hard to like get into it, and I've done better this week. But when you really start to think about it, I've watched quite a bit this week of people talking about this topic, that most women are the magic in Christmas. And I'm sorry to say, but Santa, the fat white guy in a suit, the mythical, magical, behind the scenes, gets a whole lot of credit. And the magic comes from us. The magic comes from what we put on and what we make happen. And it's hard, to like to not do it. Step 1, this is the first year that I've not done. And it's hard to not do it because it fills my heart just as much, maybe more than anybody receiving from me, but it fills me up. It like gives me this like purpose maybe around the holiday season of having it all together, thoughtful gifts and things wrapped and beautiful decorations out and like all those things. But as I really like don't this year and I step back and think about some of those things, I'm like all of a sudden having this aha moment of like, I do this to myself every year. I don't feel like anybody around me is like, man, I sure wish Jamie would have put up that Christmas tree and decorated a whole lot more. Or I really wish that she would have wrapped my present more beautifully. I don't, it's like this false thing that is built up. I don't know. I'm just having a very strange year. And it's just like, I feel guilty for not doing it. But at the same time, I'm like, dang, it is a lot of work. And no one around me is like, boy, Jamie, you're really slacking or failing. I'm the one doing it to myself, is what I'm getting at. I do want to point out and talk about something that I was saving for a little bit later into the live, but I see people talking about it in the chat. Please keep your prayers out for the state of Washington and the Pacific Northwest. The flooding in that part of the country is absolutely atrocious and horrible. Horrible no matter what time of year, but specifically this time of year. People are losing lives and homes and forever things, and it is unprecedented and historical and critical. Dams and levees are breaching, and It's horrible. I've been paying attention. I've been communicating with people that I know from that area. It feels weird to be not seeing it on the national news and not seeing it talked about more. And it's just tragic and horrific. And I pray for those people and their families and their animals. And my gosh, I hope that it can slow down and allow them time to recover. And it will be a very long recovery on top of it. And I'd also like to send prayers to Australia for the horrific happenings there in the last 24 hours as well. As I sit here and I talk about Christmas and alcoholic beverages and smile and laugh, I know that there are so many people in both of those scenarios and in so many more that aren't sitting here having the same conversation and laughing, and that they're dealing with their own valley in their life. And I think that one of the things that's beautiful to me about all of you coming here on Tuesday night is, for the most part, we want to escape. And we want 1 hour where we can laugh and talk and forget about what's going on in the world. But it wouldn't be right for me to not mention it, because I've people that we all are connected to through this page in both of those areas and so many more. So I don't mean to give you the roller coaster of emotions in the first 30 minutes of Timeout Tuesday, but at the end of the day, I think it happens in every Timeout Tuesday. And with your permission, I would love to talk about random things and escape from all of our realities for just a little bit. I know that we're all survivors of something, and I know that we will all pray for each other, healing, and just to fill their hearts and with strength through all of these times. But I'm going to change tones just for a while, so that way we can all escape some of the things that bring us down. I went to a antique store a while back, and I bought hold on, let me find the year again just to be sure that I'm saying it right. This comes from September of hold on a second here. It's from 1942. September and November of 1942, Good Housekeeping magazines. And let me tell you about the gem of information that is in both of these, okay? Because they're amazing. First of all, I paid $3 for them, which I feel like is some sort of steal, because how are these magazines in the most pristine condition from that long ago? Okay. The address is Rural Route, which is pre 911, obviously, which is really cute. And one of these is volume number 115, number 3, and the other is number 5. So if you think about that's it. This just nostalgic all in itself, and the information in them is crazy. Both of them are 25 cents. This one says the third report on the anti-gray hair vitamin right there on the front cover. Not sure who paid for that spot, but they did great. The advertisements in here, unbelievable. And I want to tell you about some of the products that are still around. So number one, this is Ipana toothpaste, which I had never heard of before, but it literally tells us, like, the advertisement is a full page and it tells a story, and it tells about a woman who walks into her tennis practice, her tennis lesson, and her instructor pulls her aside and tells her that her breath smells and she's never going to be able to find a husband if she keeps that up, no matter how good her tennis game is. Crazy. There are stories in one of these magazines that talk significantly about wartime and about the amount of businesses and people who sacrificed things and gave things up, and the way that companies changed the products that they were and the materials that they used to make things, all because they were preserving things for wartime. It's crazy. Here's another one. This one's a little bit crazy, okay? So it's Listerine, okay? And it says, when you wash your hair, Listerine to guard against infections and dandruff. Listerine, okay? It kills germs. It makes your scalp tingle, but it also feels good. Did you know that Listerine was originally created for hair? Because I did not, in fact. And do you know that Listerine today is one of the ingredients that horse people recommend that you soak your horse hooves in? But it has to be yellow Listerine, not blue or green. Because I didn't know that, but, here we are. But it was an antiseptic is what it really was. So kind of crazy, because to me, I thought Listerine was like something that would dry it out. And to think that they were using it to treat dandruff, kind of crazy. Okay. I'm going to keep flipping here. I'm going to show you. This is interesting. Why the average soldier gained 7 pounds during his first month in the army. A full-blown, this is what the soldiers were fed during that time, and they specifically served each soldier at least a pound of meat per day, and they took the time to write this and to show exactly what our army was fed. They don't tell anything like this in magazines anymore. That's not an advertisement. That is just facts. Just facts. Okay. Every single page has an advertisement, and it's like a full story on it. It is the coolest magazine ever. Okay. It says you're public. Okay. So this is etiquette about being in public by Kay Riley. And the drawings are by Lauren Cook. Number 1, when you're out, you ought to know everything you do will show. Number 2, you'll never be a lady. You'll never a lady be if a whistle bothers thee. You'll never a lady be if a whistle bothers thee. So if a man cat calls you and it bothers you, you're not a lady. Number 3, never put your love on view. Gives him way too much of you. Number 4, public fixing of your face doesn't help the human race. And number 5, corner lounging might be fun. Too bad, girls. It just ain't done. So, interestingly enough, you have to be okay with being whistled at. You should never give him too much affection in public. And you certainly should not hang out in the corners with other girls. And what was the other one? And don't fix your face in public. Just in case you wanted to know. No PDA. And don't be putting on your makeup in public either, because it's just not going to work out for you. Let's see what else here. There's like pieces of novels because they wanted you to buy the book, so it would like write significant stories. And when I say significant stories, I mean like significant stories. Not just like 20 words and a giant picture, and all of these were drawings as well. How well do you know the comics? Here are 18 of America's foremost comic strip characters. Can you identify them? A score of 16 is excellent, 13 is good, and anything below that isn't funny. I'm embarrassed to admit that I don't know hardly any of these. I think I've seen that one. That one has been around for some time. I was looking to see if I saw Popeye, but I don't even see Popeye. Does anybody know these? I'm gonna lean in closer. That's Wimpy. So this guy is Wimpy. So he is from Popeye. Okay. Dagwood. None. Anne. Me neither, Anne. I don't know anybody. Okay. Let's see here. This also says why you need a birth certificate, which is kind of wild. America suddenly has become aware of birth certificates. Proof of citizenship is essential to many forms of war work, and the best proof is a birth certificate. Until recently, the average citizen could afford to be extremely casual about identification papers because unless he were applying for a passport or had some other special need, they weren't necessary. The Constitution of the United States confers citizenship upon native-born persons under the jurisdiction of the United States. Before the war, that fact was enough. But the federal government makes no provision for establishing legal proof such as birth. Registrations of birth is the exclusive privilege of each state and is conducted under state laws. And for a long time, the states were not particularly concerned with the citizenship problem. Up to 1900, only 16 states had birth certificate laws. And while physicians and midwives in every state now are required to register births occurring under their care, the laws are not strictly enforced. It is estimated that approximately 200,000 births go unrecorded each year. Anyway, it goes on to talk about why you'll need birth certificates for the future and what you'll need them for as far as school and those types of things. But this is the first time I've actually seen this. And I guess I never realized as to when birth certificates would come into play, which is kind of crazy. Okay. It's so wild. I wish that I could share. Maybe I'll start like sharing pages with y'all on the community page, but it is unbelievable the differences in a magazine today versus then. I wish I had a good housekeeping from today to compare to. Give your skin ivory care. Doctor's advice for ivory soap. Keep your beauty on duty. In case you wanted to know. About every 10th page is a different type of cigarettes. This one is called. Oh, wait. Hold on. I won't read you this whole one because I'll post this one, but it's A Little Dirt Won't Hurt Him. I think we all live by that. This one's called Teens of Our Time. Your home life is deeply a part of you. It's the reason you are what you are. Level-headed, cute, straight-thinking, we hope. But it should be the center of all of your activities. It should be the place where you and your friends have fun. Maybe the family won't like him. Maybe you won't either. When you see him against the chintz that has been fading in the living room for years, try it and see what happens. Oh, come on now. I don't know what that means. Oh, take your heart home and introduce him to your family and let him see your habitat in its most natural. No setting of scenery. Don't make your dad put a coat on and let the demon brother be just that. Lucky you. When you finally get everybody happily playing together, your social stock will go up to no end. Your house will be a favorite stop. Your mother and dad will be younger than ever, and you're an engineer. You've built a bridge across a generation. It basically is like bring your man home and make it so wonderful that they want to come back. That's what it says. Okay, I'm going towards the back because it has the best. It has the best. There's recipes in here, which I do think that we should try. Peanut butter cookie one. This is what I'm talking about as far as wartime. A report to the women of America. And it talks a lot about wartime. And it literally says, conserving your car in wartime. Each one of us has found our special wartime task in civilian defense, Red Cross, and the like. Each of us has a broader part to play as a simple citizen. This is to do the best we can with what we have to keep life going. For example, it is plainly of first importance that essential automobiles now in use to be kept operating at the peak of their efficiency. Such care means protective and preventative care, conservation of tires, attention to detail, before wear and tear begin to take their toll. To this end, General Motors has prepared a booklet, The Automobile User's Guide, giving sound help on the wartime care of your car. It tells about tire care, gasoline economy, oil consumption, even the cleaning of upholstery and maintenance of the finish, which will help you conserve your automobile through what's necessary driving you must do. Free copies of this book may be obtained from your local General Motors dealer. And it talks about the machine tools that they utilize for production. It talks about the challenges that they face and just overall about not only what the companies did, but what regular people did. It was this like collection of spirit that everybody got in on because everyone was concerned. And I think about like what a difference this life is right now to say like the division of people. Like if that was today, there's no like everybody save and wait and stop producing this. It is like a me society, and it wasn't like that, and I long for a time like that. Okay. I see y'all talking about paper dolls. I love paper dolls. I wish I could find some paper dolls. I hope to play those with Kinley at some point in time. I had some growing up. I don't know if my grandma still has them. All right, we're going to the back. The back is my favorite. These are recipes. Ooh. It talks about tapioca pudding. That's another texture I just can't do. It has peaches on top of it. I like peaches, but tapioca, no. Barnes & Noble has paper dolls. I didn't know that. Well, hold on. There was a thing in here that I really wanted to show y'all because it was hilarious. And I should have flagged it, and I didn't do it. There's Clorox in here. Lipton tea. It was a medicine that I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy talk. Maybe I won't be able to find it. Oh, I wanted to. There's also personal ads in the back. Do y'all remember? Maybe you don't. I ran across the other day on TikTok maybe it's in the other. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Goodbye, boys. Bugaboo. When flies begin to swoop and prey upon your morning breakfast tray, just draw your gun a bugaboo, one swish, and every fly is through. And it's like a metal can of bug stuff that you sprayed over your food. called Bugaboo. Just in case anybody remembers that one, because oh my gosh. Oh, Woolsworth. We had a Woolworth in Centralia, Illinois. I forgot all about that. Just so neat to think back. I've enjoyed these finds. I plan on taking them to Illinois with me. I want to show my mom and my grandma, see if my grandma remembers anything that's in here, and if it sparks any stories. I love to hear her stories and to think about. Just think about all of the different things and the way that they advertised them, the way they talked about them, the way they thought they would be sold compared to now is just dynamically different. And maybe I could even get Jalen interested in some of it too, because it's pretty cool. And it is a robust magazine, and it had to have taken so much to be able to print and publish these during that time. That's one thing that I don't think that we understand today is how fast and how much distribution and how much information is available. But to think about these magazines, someone kept them because they were important to them, I imagine. And they probably utilized them as reference for many things and entertainment overall. Oh, so Five and Dime was our Ben Franklin store. Is that what it was for everybody else? Because it still exists in Breeze. Maybe I'll take you there next week if they're open. It's not the same as I remember growing up. Like, they still have stuff. It's 3 aisles in this little old building. And back in the day, you could buy silk flowers, you could buy candy, you could buy toys, you could buy cross-stitch things, you could buy pots and pans and tools and Christmas decor, cards if you wanted to, pantyhose if you needed them. I would be very curious as to what is in there now. Maybe we should go. Do you want to go? Because it's still called Ben Franklin, and it still is the dime store. That's what the whole town refers it to. Or you go to the dime store. Okay, we'll go. Yes, they had penny candy. I've never been to a Globe. Your Woolworth had a soda bar in it? Oh, our Woolworth was like, it was replaced with Big Lots. I was young. I know that Woolworth was gone before I could drive a car. Because Big Lots was in there whenever I could drive a car. So I don't remember. I just remember the name of the store. We did not. Okay, so there's somebody said Bargain City. There was a place in Centralia that was called Dobbs Bargain City. And it was this like 3-story store. And I remember going with one of my grandmas. And for some reason, I remember being upstairs where there was furniture for sale as well. Is that what Bargain City is? There was a lunch counter at Woolsworth, and it had a diner. Dang. I do remember Kmart having a diner. Do y'all remember Venture? Our Venture had a diner too. Kmart had, like, when you first walked in, if I remember, like popcorn, kind of like what Target's little place used to be. I just remember the smell of popcorn. I know that it probably had like hot dogs and nachos and chicken strips and things like that, but I definitely remember popcorn. The food was really good. Huh. So Macy's in St. Louis had a restaurant in it. I don't know if that still exists either. A Cat's drugstore. No, I've never heard of a Cat's drugstore. Sky says, I remember popcorn and ices. Yeah, it was like movie theater food is what I remember at Kmart. Somebody lived in England in the 70s and they still had Woolworth there then. That's crazy. Some of y'all had a Little Caesars in Kmart. We didn't have that. I've never eaten Little Caesars. Confession. I don't know what it tastes like at all. Don't know what Hazel's is. Jamie says, I feel deprived. I feel a little deprived too. Y'all are mentioning things that I don't know what they are. There was a pizza place in Kmart. Ask Lester about Sears in Pasadena. I would venture to say that they probably didn't go to Sears in Pasadena. I love, like, that y'all are struck on all of the memories of stores and things like that. Five and Dime is probably the most nostalgic place that I could take you, that probably still has stuff on the shelves, at least from when I was growing up. They didn't really turn over inventory too much. Most of the things in there, like the packaging was patinaed and that type of thing. Um, Dan and Lou have Little Caesars pizza all the time for Sunday lunch. I didn't know. I don't even know where a Little Caesars is. I've always been so, like, growing up, we had a Pizza Hut in the county, and that was a huge deal to get to go to Pizza Hut, and the only reason we went was if I had to book it. Does anybody remember Book It? It was a thing in grade school where if you read enough books, you got a free personal pan pizza once a year-ish, I think. It was like a little button thing, and you got stickers on it, and then you would go with a certificate. That was the reason that we got to eat pizza, and it was a huge deal, huge. And then later in life, they used to have Pizza Hut buffet, and that was Xander's. That was something that that kid could not wait to go to Pizza Hut buffet. He wanted cinnamon sticks, and he wanted cheese sticks and the sauce to dip them in. Breadsticks, oh my gosh, he could eat some pizza back in the day. Dipped in ranch mostly, but so that is the pizza we had. Now here, when I moved to Texas, there was a Domino's. There's a Pizza Hut as well, but there was a Domino's in Cleveland, and now that is the special treat of takeout pizza that I love. Um, Growing up, my family loved thick crust pizza, so I never had thin crust other than frozen pizza that you cooked at home. And now I have fallen in love with thin crust from Domino's because it's kind of like a cracker. It's very thin. Oh, it's so good. But I am a little sad about Domino's right now because they stopped making the cheese dip that we loved. It was borderline Alfredo sauce that they heated up. It was really just a multitude of cheese with some butter in it, some Parmesan, some garlic, and it was fantastic. And you served it with the little garlic knots. And now they took away the cheese sauce, and I feel like I'm boycotting Domino's because that was my reason. Pizza was like the excuse, but the reason was the cheese stuff. So sad. So, so sad. What is Jet's Pizza, Ruth? In St. Louis, we have Emo's Pizza, and they make that with Provel cheese. I'm not that big of a fan. It's not, I don't really like it. It sticks to my teeth, or at least it used to. And I was like, I don't get it. My first medical job, the only thing that delivered there was Papa John's pizza. Oh, it was so good because they served it with the garlic dipping sauce. So terrific. That bread and the garlic, and oh my gosh. Yeah. Tammy says, Jet's deep dish pizza. I don't know about that. So I know about Chicago style pizza, which is like super thick. I know about New York, which is just giant and like hand tossed. I do love New York style pizza. Hungry Howie's Greek pizza. I didn't know. I'm Godfather's pizza. I don't know. Diana's allergic to garlic. Oh, Diana. I would die. I put garlic on almost everything that is savory. I would not be okay. Garlic is supposed to be, I'm not saying you're not allergic to it. I'm sad that you're allergic to it. Garlic is like one of the biggest health things um for humans, for horses, for dogs. Like it is supposed to be an incredible immune booster. I do my best to consume as much garlic as possible because I love it. Like I love it. I probably walk around with like vampire breath like the whole time and I don't even know it, but I love me some garlic. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I put it on things that it doesn't even belong on all the time. Like I'll be making tacos, there's garlic going on my meat. I don't I love garlic and I think it's good. There's a lot of people that feel the same way as me. Happy, super happy to see that. It does help lower your blood pressure, Diane says. Yeah, garlic is really good for you. They actually put there's a garlic supplement that you can put on your horse's food, and it's a garlic salt for the electrolyte, but garlic for um, the immune booster. And I haven't done that in a while since we switched to GutX, but I did it for a solid year and it worked really well. At least I think so. It's hard to tell with supplements, you know. Garlic is good for earaches. Have y'all ever heard? I see people talking about onions too because I'm an onionaholic. Y'all know that. Have y'all ever heard of people putting raw onions on your feet in your socks when you're sick? Has anybody else heard of that? Am I crazy? Did I make that up in my head? Because I swore that I heard that there's an old wives' tale that you slice an onion and you put it in your sock on the palm of your foot and you go to bed with that and it's supposed to cure a cold. Am I nuts? Yes. Okay. And vinegar. Yes. There is a lot. There are a lot of people who swear by the onion in the sock thing that at least that I have heard from. I did it. Man, I was really sick. It was the year that we got Longhorn Lesters. It was over Christmas. And I don't remember being that sick in my life. And I was here and because Dixie and Beverly were here and it froze. Oh my God. It froze that night, many nights. But I felt so bad that I was willing to try anything because NyQuil was like, I was drained and it was just awful. And I literally put onions in my sock that night. My problem was, this is horrible that I'm confessing this to you. I couldn't sleep with socks on. So like I was fighting that really weird like like I feel so terrible I must leave them on versus like I cannot sleep. I cannot stand the fact that my feet are hot type of thing. But people swear by it of onions in your socks. I can't say it hurt me, but I also can't say that I slept a full night with them on there. Um, Next time I'm sick, I'll document it and we'll talk about if it's real or not. I know I'm really weird. I can't sleep with socks on, even in the coldest of times. I'll let my feet like fall off from being cold before I can sleep with socks on. It is some weird, probably a touch of the tism like thing that I have that I cannot sleep with socks on. More power to those who can. But that is I can't do it. I can't do it. Even if I'm going to take a nap on the couch, I have to take my socks off. I also cannot sleep without a blanket. I'm weird. I know. I've told you for years that I'm weird. Yeah. There's a lot of people that can't sleep with socks either. So, okay. So I'm not as strange as I thought that I was. Somebody says I can't sleep with them on since menopause. I think it's been my whole life. I am not conscious of any time that I've been able to sleep with socks on. And I need a blanket. And I've recently learned that I don't want the weighted blanket that has like the beads in it or anything like that. But my blanket's got to have some, it can't just be all airy. I need it to Apparently, I like to be swaddled a little bit with a blanket. Just no socks on my feet. I'm yawning like crazy, y'all. It's only 8 o'clock and I'm yawning like crazy. I got a call right before I started this live from the power company, and I freaked out thinking like, oh no, what happened? What has fallen down? And it was an automated thing saying that tomorrow we will not have power for much of the day, and that it may go into tomorrow night because they're doing work. Crews are doing work on the lines in our area. And it was like a call out of, if you have medical devices or things like that, to please call them so that they can shorten your time. And I just thought that was so thoughtful because I'm 43 years old, but I've had a power bill, for let's say 25 of those years. Never once have I received a call that warned you about the power being out and for consideration of that. And I just thought, maybe that happens everywhere, but I just thought that was really thoughtful of our electric company. Um, it's not a bad time of year to not have power. It's 65 degrees out during the day. We had some cold nights, but it should be fine. We also have our backup generator, and I did not press 1 to ask questions, but I imagine it's still okay that runs. So we will see. I may go over to the JL to do work tomorrow instead, but we'll just see what the day holds and what kind of things that they are planning to do here. We also have a Jackery. We also have a Blue Eddy, so we'll be okay. And 65 during the day will be completely fine. I'm not worried about that. But sometimes the conveniences of everything and being able just to pack it up and go elsewhere is nice as well. But it was nice to have the warning overall is what I was really aiming at here, because that allows me to go ahead and use the well, get all the waters done first thing in the morning. They said it'll happen about 10 a.m. And then be able to, that they'll give us a call with or a text. You could select either one, to get every 2-hour progress updates as to when they think that the power would come back on. They give an estimate at the beginning when it goes off, and then they'll be able to give us updates of when our specific address will be able to be back online as well. So I just thought it was nice. It's nice that they're not doing it in August, and helpful that they gave you the warning. Do I still have Terrence, Miss Patty? I have Terrence and I have Clarence, and now in my recent hatchlings, well, not recent, they're like they're probably 4 months old now. Out in the halfway house, there's also a rooster out in there. So I have a total of 4 hens and 3 roosters that are all the Duclay breed. As I build out the coop and really strategize about spring and breeding and what's going on, they'll probably all go together. They don't fight as is. They get along great. And one of them will become the dominant. And then eventually I'll be able to split up into pairs or trios as well, even further. But we'll just kind of see like who gets along from that standpoint. But yes, I have Terrence and Clarence and another one that doesn't have a name yet. So kind of have to think through that too. The one that doesn't have a name yet is super funny and sweet and is like tall and lankier than the other two. And when he runs, he looks like a bowling pin with a little red top on him. And he just like his little feet, like, they have boots. They're booted. Bantams is what they're called. So he's kind of hilarious. I'll have to try to capture that running for y'all. I have like all of these little snippets saved up that I kind of need to make a compilation of, because I'm gonna yawn again. I have like bloopers from some of the crazy things that Lester and I have done, like trying to do some of these advertisements. But I also have like little tiny snippets of moments that I think would be hilarious. Call him Slim. That would be cute. Do I still have Benny and the Jets? So I do have the Jets. Something happened to Benny, and it was actually this weekend. And I've been sad about it. I do believe that a hawk picked him up, and unfortunately, he did not make it. I've been looking for a replacement for him because they were a breeding trio, and they were Darkwing, silver. They're a Old English game bird, and unfortunately, poor Benny did not make it. That one hurt my heart a lot, actually. His poor little hens are just like, what do we do now? And of course, I shed a tear or two over that, but I also have to recognize that they're they're chickens, and sometimes those things are going to happen, and it's unfortunate and it's sad. But I also feel like putting them in tiny little pens that are 4 foot by 4 foot isn't a life either. So I'm trying to like find a balance, um, and just figure that out. But unfortunately, poor Benny passed this weekend, actually. Um, Other than that, the chickens they're doing great. I love to hang out with them. I know it sounds so silly, but when it's time to put them up into their little houses or whatever, I go out and I sit out there and I wait for them to come in, and some of them will interact with me, some of them don't, but they all have this little routine that's just like beautiful to watch. So it's good. It's really good. I have I have a video that I started to record today that's some of the sweetest moments. I have some moms and babies that are just like blowing my mind with what they're doing, and I can't wait to share that with you as well. It is a bummer. I know it's chickens and it is still sad, and I had my moment, but I didn't make that big of a deal about it because not everybody loves chickens the way that I do. And he was just a he was a handsome little guy. He really was, and he take cared for his ladies and protected his ladies, and I know that he did that until the very end. And unfortunately, hawks do happen, and the little guys who have a lot of white on them are the very first target. And every chicken person will tell you that anything with white on it is a target. So, bummer about Benny. And I messaged the person who sent Benny to me, and he no longer carries that breed at all. He goes, I switched to all of the black hens and black chickens because he too was having a hawk problem as well. So sad. Anyway, um, Donkey Dan did allow me to put a blanket on him to set it on him yesterday morning, if you saw the video today. And then when I went to get a blanket last night to put it on him, he gave me a solid no. It's one thing to lay it on him, but to try to buckle it he's not, no, he was not down for that last night, which is okay. We tried. We'll keep trying. The next cold night, I think, is Thursday night. I have to look at what happens with the weather because I think it was only 38. And if it only dips down for an hour, I probably won't blanket. But if it dips down to 38 immediately at 5 p.m., then I probably will. I know that our horses are really enjoying the blankets. This morning, I drove over to the JL to take everybody's off, and it was my first time taking Roman's off by myself. Do you know that he made me put his halter on? Like I was not allowed to touch him until he put his halter on. When I put his halter on, he's like, "All right, now we can do work." So he has like super super routine focus going on, and I love that. I love that. I do. But no, it was a good day. Got the horse blankets off, got them put up, and then I worked, and then did some more chores outside, and now I'm hanging out with y'all. But we are working hard this week, both at work and at home, because the holidays really kick off next week. My plans are to head up to Illinois. We have a family Christmas that is this Saturday, and then another one on the 25th. And I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that I was a little bit torn. I want to go see my family and spend time, and of course be with Kinley and all of those things, but it is hard to leave here for the holidays as well. Like it is truly like a torn feeling because I know that I'll be missing the morrow's Christmas. I'll be missing Lester and my Christmas Day tradition. We usually go to Denny's every single Christmas and eat together. So just a little bit hard. And because we just left and together, it's not really real for us both to leave again. Even if it was just for a day or two, like we talked about maybe that happening, but I just don't think it's possible. So we will celebrate Christmas after I get back. And that's when Lex will come over as well. But I am looking forward to Kinley's first Christmas. Like that is something I'm really excited about celebrating. And I do believe that Xander and Kendra got their family pictures back in. So I can't wait to show you all of those. I've shown you snippets of those, but I can't wait to show you all of those. And just celebrate the holidays. And I know that I'll be going live and spending time with y'all as well. So maybe we'll get to bake together. Oh my gosh, I found the recipe that I talked about the other night. I got it from my grandma. So my hopes and dreams are that I will get groceries either tomorrow or the next day and we'll do a live and make that dessert that I've been telling you about. I have enough pecans picked and cracked and to be able to make that dessert. And yeah, we'll go from there. So it will be Mamie's first Christmas too, which that sounds so exciting. But anyway, I hope that y'all have a good night. And I thank you for putting up with me and listening to me ramble about the most random things on Timeout Tuesdays. And I'm sorry for those that I triggered. And I didn't mean to upset anyone about, reminiscing at all. So I hope you'll find it in your heart to come back, try again for a different day, because I promise not every single day is the same here. In fact, no day is the same here. The only thing that stays the same is change itself around this place. So I'm going to go do my final night rounds outside, get everybody locked up, and I have a really cute video up for tomorrow morning that I hope that you'll take the time to watch. Thank you for joining me tonight, for being a part of my hour, my days, my weekends, my nights. I am so incredibly blessed that you give me the greatest gift of all, which is your time. I hope you stay well, you stay safe, and stay warm, and I will catch you on the next video. We're going to go ahead and end this the same way we started. There you go.
She logs off late from a long day's call, solving problems, juggling it all. When the day is done and the sun goes down, she trades the job for the open ground. There's hay to haul and stalls to clean, a muddy path where her soul feels seen. It's not just chores, it's something more. It's the dream she's always been working for. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's proven what a dream is worth. You don't need fame, you don't need praise, just a will to give and a heart that stays. She's got spreadsheets open by morning light, with horses waiting come early night. She's not chasing gold,